3, 2. Good morning, trade pros. Welcome to Morning Market Update for this great Friday, Feb the 7th. I hope you guys are having a great day. We're off to a great start here. In the morning, the lead team took advantage of some of these non-payrolls. We dropped about 10 handles or so, 12 handles off of where they were at. And it was actually a really good trade. Very often, non-farm payrolls a little bit slower. But we got a great update for you today. And let's kick it off. First and foremost, we're going to have to spend some time talking about the coronavirus because in the last 24 hours, things have really spiraled out of control with some of these updates. All right, and there's a lot more doubt nowadays as to the accuracy of these numbers. So let's go through things in order that have happened since the last morning market update. Okay, first and foremost, China officially has delayed their trade figures for the month of January. They said that they would combine the data with next month's release. I can't think of any other reason for them to do that other than those numbers really stink. And so rather than releasing the numbers and explaining it, China has decided to combine January and February together. January and February together and announce it early March, hoping that these things blow over and they average out to be roughly the same. All right. Obviously, that's not a good sign. No matter how you look at it, traders look at this and say, questionable at best. In other news, a Royal Caribbean ship had 12 quarantined passengers on board docks in New Jersey. So, this is going to be pretty similar to the Japanese cruise ship scenario where now there's 273 people on that cruise ship that were tested. 61 were found positive and 41 new patients were sent to the hospital. So that ship's just floating in water in quarantine. All right. Very interesting developments. In other news on the coronavirus, the doctor who tried to warn of this outbreak before it became widespread, before people knew about it. All right. He was ringing the alarm bell, said, guys, it's a dangerous virus. I think it's going to spin out of control. He had projections out. He was warning everyone he could talk to. And he was issued a lot of cease and desist, all right, threats, outright threats by the state from China saying, what are you doing? There's going to be retaliation taken if you continue this. And he ended up being right. It did spread. It did start to infect a lot of people. And I think there was an opportunity at that time, if they would have just listened to him, to really nix this problem. And now it's kind of ballooned out. That doctor, unfortunately, has passed away yesterday from coronavirus himself. All right, that's kind of sad, especially when you're somebody who tries to be the messenger, tries to warn others, and to fall, prey to that disease yourself or the virus. It's sad. We send them, positive vibes to him and his family. And it's a sad moment, to be honest with you. China, the lockdown continues. 400 million people are now on quarantine. 400 million people, more than the entire population of the United States. Guangzhou City joins the lockdown. All right. And yesterday, early in the morning, there was a very suspect report that came out from Tencent. All right. The Chinese company. They issued some numbers that they thought were the wrong numbers, and then they revised them to be the real numbers. And what people are suspecting here is that the wrong numbers were actually the official numbers, and the real numbers that they claim to have updated it to, all right, are the actual fake Chinese state-spun numbers. So the ones that they were expecting, this is February 2nd, okay, were 14,000 infections, 351 people who actually beat the virus afterward, and only 304 dead. This is what we're led to believe now. Now it's up to 600. But at the time, get this, the number that they released at 11:40 in the evening were 154,000 infections, 79,000 new cases, and 24,589 deaths. All right. If that's the case, this thing becomes from a virus that's spreading slowly and we're trying to figure out a vaccine, how do we contain it, to outright panic, because now it's spreading to other parts of the world as well. So this is it's not confirmed. All right. Obviously, Tencent could have actually made a mistake, but to make a mistake on one number is one thing. To post 4 different numbers that are over 10 times the size of what's being reported, it's a little bit suspect. All right. I'm not saying it's true. What I am saying is the market's a little bit nervous, and that, weighed into the price action of yesterday. Okay. This morning, we had non-farm payrolls. How did they come out? Pretty good. Non-farm payrolls for January came out at 225,000 after an expectation of 160 and a high-end range of 200,000 and a prior number of 145. So they blew out the expectation this month. Okay. And this is where most traders stopped their research into this report. They blew out the numbers, and most people probably tried to buy this report because it was a beat, and they probably got stopped out while we were short and getting paid. Here's what you need to know. There's a 3-tier report. There's 3 equally important pieces of information. The first one that the media prints the most is just 1/3 of the picture. So the unemployment rate for January actually ticked up to 3.6%. All right, which is interesting because the unemployment rate had gone up. The prior number was 3.5. There's no revisions. The one before that was 3.4. So now we're getting consecutive months of unemployment increase on the rate. All right. Remember, non-farm payrolls, that 225,000 figure has a lot of revisions to it. There's birth, death adjustments, and a whole slew of other manipulations they could do to that data at the Labor Bureau and Statistics. Okay, LBS. So U.S. labor force participation, pretty much equal. Manufacturing jobs, minus 12,000. So manufacturing jobs continue to be lost. The previous was minus 5,000. So manufacturing jobs are dropping at a higher pace. That's bearish. All right. And then you look at average hourly earnings, they ticked up by 0.1%. So in reality, this non-farm payrolls report is a lot more mixed than just a headline number would lead you to believe. So be careful. I think on a day like today where we're near all-time highs and we failed to get there overnight with a really strong bullish non-farm payrolls report, everyone sells it. All right. I'm calling a sell day today. And if we get above 33.50, I'm wrong and I start buying it. All right. So you always have to remember when you're trading, you got to have a flip level. It's cool to think that you want to start short, but if it flips past a certain level, you got to give up your buys. All right. That's the non-farm payrolls. That's coronavirus. And let's go on and give you a little quote of the markets. Uber yesterday released some pretty good profitability numbers. They're up 5.6%. Twitter's up 15% on strong user growth. And that's it. In Asia, Japan's down 0.2%. Hong Kong's down 0.3%. India's down 0.4%. China's up 0.3%. In Europe at midday, London's down 0.6%. Paris is down 0.3%. Frankfurt's down 0.5%. And the U.S. S&P and Dow down 0.4%. Nasdaq down 0.5%. Okay. Crude oil down this morning. It just broke its overnight low after the open, but it has popped back up. So we could see a bit of a consolidation or a pullback, but the trend remains down. Gold is holding flat around its open. Bitcoin's up 1.7%. Okay, guys. For today's data, 10 a.m. we have wholesale trade. Not a massive report. 1 p.m. we have Baker Hughes rig count, which is good for oil traders, and that concludes the Friday. I would say today, because non-farm payrolls, because we had non-farm payrolls, a lot of the volatility from later on today is shifted forward, and there's going to be a lot on the opening bell. So my instinct here is, based on analysis levels and a lot of experience, sell the early morning rallies, especially if we get below 27.5, and then we'll stay on the downside till about 10:30, 11, the mid-morning reversal, and then we'll see what happens from there. Then one day is 2 sessions in the U.S. Remember that. There's always 2 sessions in every single day. Not many traders could tell you that. All right, that's what we got. We send you guys love, joy, and happiness for the weekend. Be safe out there. Manage your risk. Trade TRADEPRO. Careful, wash your hands, don't touch your eyeballs. And you know what? Another piece of crazy news that came out about this coronavirus is that you could get it twice. You get it 3 times. It doesn't stop. You don't build the antibody when you get over it. So if you've had it once and you've beat it, you can't go into Wuhan and say, I'm King Kong. You could get it a second time. And so that makes it even more dangerous because you're trying to cure cases, and people who are cured are still potentially future victims. And so very interesting development. This thing is more serious than I think markets are pricing in. Nonetheless, it's a bull. Bulls fall very hard. You got to trip them a few times. And I think this morning a little bit of downside, but ultimately we'll see what happens in the afternoon close. Remember, bullish markets open weak and close strong. You guys have a great rest of your day. We love you all. Be safe this weekend. Manage your risk, trade TRADEPRO. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Take care and goodbye. Peace out. Thank you. We'll appreciate it. You're awesome. Take care, guys. Bye.